Well, for more on this, let's speak to Marc Pierini. He's a visiting scholar at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace in Brussels. Welcome to the programme. Europe is struggling to cope with the enormous influx of refugees from war-torn countries. Don't we have to solve the conflicts if we're going to ease the pressure?
Well, it's a little bit too late to take it in an orderly fashion. You already have hundreds of thousands of people on European soil, either EU or non-EU. They're running for their life, and therefore we have to cope with who is there. Of course, as you can see, we have three different groups of countries in the EU. You have Germany, who has the means, who has growth, who has citizens' confidence, and who has a need for manpower. So they are, in principle, very generous, but they are right now overwhelmed. Then you have the Niet front, which is essentially Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, and Denmark, with nuances between them, but essentially they don't want an agreement. And then you have those following the German lead, meaning France and the UK and others. So the problem now is really to cope with those who are already on their way, on the ground, in the mud, on the sea, between Turkey and Greece, between Greece and Macedonia, Serbia, Hungary. And this is why, quite apart from the overall agreement between EU member states, you need an agreement between the EU and receiving countries, namely Italy, Greece, Hungary, and Turkey, and Serbia, and Macedonia, on transit points, holding points, where people can be safe and where people can be transported in a dignified and safe manner.
The biggest powers in the world haven't been able to stop the 4-year war in Syria. How do we achieve better political diplomacy and, I suppose, unity when there's so much instability?
Well, as we all know, the Assad regime is supported from the beginning by Russia and Iran, and this is not about to stop. You can see that Iran is more active since the nuclear deal, so it's back on the regional scene. And you can see that Russia is beefing up its military presence in Latakia. So we will have to come to an agreement between the West and Russia and Iran. But of course, there is one sticking point, which is the fate of Bashar Assad himself. We all know that we will have to save what's left of the Syrian state and the Syrian army, but we disagree, the West and Russia and Iran on the other side, on the fate of Bashar himself.
Marc Pierini in Brussels, thanks for joining us.